Hey everybody, my name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. I wanted to thank you for listening to this episode of The Morning Show. I'm the creator, the producer, and the host of the show. We want you to check out our website. It's themorningshowwithnatalie.com. You can go to that website. You can see all about our sponsors, all about the show. You can even listen to live episodes while they're going on right there from the website. Another way to listen to the show live is go to Live 365. You can download that app and just search for The Morning Show. It's right there. Super easy. We want you to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you will. That way you can keep up with what's going on the morning show. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. It's Featured Artist Friday, and I couldn't be any more excited than I am right now to be here with our featured artist of the week, Mr. Joseph Habedank. You there, Joseph?
I am, but I have one question, Natalie. Do you say that to everybody about how excited you are to have them on the show?
Well, I don't. I really mean it more today than ever. What about that?
That's funny. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be on your show, and congratulations on your new show. And I'm so grateful to be on.
Well, the honor is ours all the way. We have celebrated the music of Joseph Habedank every single day this week. That sure makes for happy days. Joseph, we could never cover all of your accomplishments in one show, but I do want to hit just some highlights on the big ones for some of our friends who may not know. Joseph Habedank is a two-time Grammy-nominated artist, two-time Dove Award winner. The first one for Southern Gospel Artist of the Year in 2020, and then Album of the Year in 2021. He was voted gospel music's favorite soloist for 4 consecutive years, 2017 through 2020. And I know there have been so many accomplishments and honors, battles, and a lot of victories along the way. Joseph, is this where you thought you'd be when you started your journey many, many years ago?
Absolutely not. I really thought that I was going to be with a group or starting a group. You know, God had other plans, and I'm so glad. You know, God's plans for us are so much greater than the plans that we make for ourselves. I think growing up thinking that I would be riding a quartet bus or singing with a family group, which I did with the Perrys for 10 years. But even after that, I thought, you know, I'll start with a group and then I'll start my own group. And then for whatever reason, God kept telling me, I want you to go out on your own. And I kept telling God, I was kind of like, I don't want to be alone, you know, on stage. And it was kind of this funny moment where God was like, you'll never be alone on stage. I mean, as long as I'm with you, you'll never be alone. And there's peace in that, knowing that every night when I go on stage, I don't have to go alone. And there are times when I try to go out and do it myself, and it never works out too well unless he's with me and leading the way and guiding what I'm saying and how I'm singing and how I'm communicating the songs. None of it's possible without him. So even though it's not what I planned, I have to say it has exceeded every expectation. When I was growing up, I never thought I would get nominated for Grammys or win Dove Awards. I didn't even think I'd win Fan Awards. You know, I just thought I wanted to sing. That was all it was about for me. And everything else has been kind of like the icing on the cake. And I'm so grateful.
Well, we are grateful for the journey too. We're grateful for where it has led you. Many have tried to be successful soloists, and very few has succeeded, but you sure have, Joseph. You're one of our favorites here on the morning show, and we just couldn't be any happier for the success that you have had. Here's one that we just can't get enough of around here. It's off that new album. It's called Jericho.
Walls are gonna fall like around your heart. Don't let anybody in. You hide the secrets and scars of who you are and where you've been. But there's a God who knows your pain in your dark. Sometimes you wanna give up, but keep marching, keep marching, keep marching till you hear the ground shake. Keep marching, today could be the day. Keep marching, God is gonna make a way. Like Jericho, 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 Jericho. Walls are gonna fall like Jericho, 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 Jericho. Tumbling, crumbling like Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Walls are gonna fall like Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Tumbling, crumbling. When fear and trouble surround, yeah, God's gonna bring them down like Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Walls are gonna fall like Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Walls are gonna fall like Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Walls are gonna fall like.
Want to talk about that latest album of yours, the one that received a Dove Award back in October, I believe. Album is Change is coming. I was watching that night. Actually, the last time that you and I spoke, not just email or messaging, but actually spoke to one another, it was the day of the Dove Awards. I interviewed you over WMER that morning. We talked about the Dove Awards was that night, and then we watched you on the Dove Awards as you won. That was a very exciting day. Do you remember that, Joseph?
Oh, I'll never forget it. I think the coolest thing, getting to do that interview and then it happening, you never know what to expect. But the coolest thing about winning that particular award was that my wife, Lindsay, actually helped produce that album, and she got to get her own Dove Award. And that was kind of a dream for her growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty special that I got to be up on stage with her, and I got to kind of share our story and what we had walked through together. And it was a very short acceptance speech. It was maybe 30 seconds to a minute, but I do feel like God used it, and he's really opened a lot of doors from that. Just a lot of relationships with other songwriters and producers, and I'm so grateful for that night and what it's done for our ministry.
Well, the speech was perfect. We were watching, and I will say this about Lindsay. She looked absolutely stunning that night.
She is pretty amazing. I mean, she's beautiful inside and out. And it's funny because, her dress that she was wearing that night, hopefully she won't mind me telling this, it was shedding. It was glitter, or it had these little, I don't even know if they were glitter, but it was shedding. The dress was literally coming, not apart, but it was coming off. So when she stood up from her seat, there was a glitter all over her seat. Wow. And that was kind of the joke of the night. But she looked stunning.
She looked stunning. And she was a classy act, that's for sure. Well, look, the album is incredible. It's worthy of every award that there is to win. You've already had one #1 off of the album. I don't know if Jericho has been #1 yet or not, but I know that Religion Isn't Working Anymore has been #1. Would you tell me about writing that song right there? Where'd you get the idea for Religion Isn't Working Anymore, Joseph?
So this has never happened before, but I was actually at a youth conference singing, and one of my songwriter friends leaned over and said, "I'm getting ready to sing a new song called Religion Isn't Working Anymore." And he said, "Have you heard it?" And I said, "No." So he got up and sang it, and as soon as he sung it, I said, "I've got to record that." Well, here's the problem. I write all of my songs. So I went to him and I said, "You kind of wrote that as a worship song, and it's amazing." I said, "But is there any way you'd let me come in and rewrite a few things to make it fit Southern gospel?" And he said, "Absolutely." So we actually rewrote the verses. The verses were initially just "Religion isn't working anymore. Religion isn't working anymore. One line right here. Da 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 da. Religion isn't working anymore." And every verse was like that, and it was more like a worship song. Mm-hmm. And so I went in and said, let's fill in those verses to make it fit my crowd. And so that's how the song came about. And I knew when we recorded it was going to be special. And I remember going to the record company and saying I want it to be the first single. And they said, "Are you sure? Because it's pretty bold." Mm-hmm. And I said, "I'm sure." And sure enough, people latched onto it, and they got it. That was my biggest thing. I just want them to get what I'm saying. I'm not bashing the church. I'm not bashing Christianity. But I am saying that religion is not where it's at. It's about the relationship with Christ. That's ultimately what we will, that's the most important thing. It's paramount. It's the relationship, not the religion. And so I'm so glad people get it and they understand it, and that it's helped people.
Well, it's a remarkable song and a remarkable story about that song. We love it. Here it is. Religion isn't working anymore.
Religion isn't working anymore. Religion isn't working anymore. Every single Sunday, just like the one before. Religion isn't working anymore. Religion sure ain't never satisfied. I've crossed the T's and dotted all the I's, and still I feel so empty walking out the door, 'cause religion isn't working anymore. I wanna know my blessed Savior and love Him like I've never loved before. I wanna feel the power of the resurrected Lord, 'cause religion isn't working anymore. Religion never set nobody free. It's always made a prisoner out of me. I'm done with checking boxes, I'm tired of keeping score, 'cause religion isn't working anymore. No, I wanna know my blessed Savior and love Him like I've never loved before. I wanna feel the power of the resurrected Lord, 'cause religion isn't working anymore. Just give me Jesus, oh, just give me Jesus. I don't need the smoke and mirrors, I don't need the show. No, 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 just give me Jesus, yeah. Just give me Jesus. I need His living water to wash over my soul. I wanna know my blessed Savior, and I wanna love Him like I never loved Him before. I wanna feel the power of the resurrected Lord, 'cause religion, it isn't working, no. I wanna know my blessed Savior, and I wanna love Him like I never loved Him before. I wanna feel the power of the resurrected Lord, 'cause religion, it isn't working anymore. No, 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 it ain't. Religion isn't working anymore.
Joseph, I want to spend just a minute talking specifically about your songwriting. I got this from your website. It said songs have been recorded by artists such as Reba McEntire, Restless Heart, Daily Vincent, the Booth Brothers, Triumphant, Karen Peck and New River, the Hoppers, and others. Well, I'll say that there are many, many others to add to that list. It seems like every time I pick up a CD from an artist, if you read the credits closely enough, there always seems to be a song on the album that Joseph Habedank had a hand in writing. You write one breath taker after another. Goes years and years back. If you knew him, Almost Morning, Beauty of the Blood, Shame on Me. We could go on and on. Joseph, you stand among the elite in your field, your passion and your ability to just stop us in our tracks when we hear a new song. It is ever amazing. Tell us how many you wrote on this latest album, Change is Coming.
Well, it's a lot of people don't realize it, but I actually co-write all of my songs. So every album from Welcome Home to Resurrection to Deeper Oceans to my new album, Change is Coming, I wrote every single song on all of those records. And I have great songwriters here in Nashville that help me write those songs, and they write them with me. But one of the things when I started my solo ministry, I went into the record company and I asked them if they would let me be a true singer-songwriter. And what I meant by that was, will you let me try to write the whole album? And they said, yeah, we'll let you. And so the problem with that is that sometimes it takes me literally 100 songs to write per album to get the 10 that we need. And so that's the work. I'm actually in the process now of writing the next record. And I just started. I've probably only gotten maybe 5 songs in the can. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to record one of them, maybe one of the 5. But it is a tedious process because, unfortunately, not every song you write is good enough, in my opinion, to make the record. Or sometimes it's not even about being good enough. Sometimes it's about what fits me. Sometimes I'll write a song that just doesn't fit me as an artist or doesn't fit the record. And so I'm able to send those songs to other artists. And that's why when you look at another CD of another artist recording one of my songs, it's typically a song that I wrote for me that it didn't fit my record. And so it's able to find a home somewhere else. And so it's been a really fun process, but I'll tell you, I'm in the process of doing it again now. And it is a lot of work. The older I get, it's like, man, this is a ton of work, but I love it. I'm grateful that I get to do it. And these songs they're like my babies. You know, I'm so proud of them and so grateful that God allows me to write them.
Well, it's a true art. And you heard it right here. If you hear Joseph Habedank sing a song, well, he wrote that song or at least had a hand in writing it. They're top notch. Here's one that's on that latest album that he wrote. It's called Rebel with a Cause. It's real catchy. I like it. Here you go.
Hanging out with the sinners and the outcasts. He didn't fit in the Pharisees' box now. Getting down with the broken down and outers. He wasn't anybody's picture of God, but he came as a man on a mission. For a man like me, he was fishing. They called him a renegade. He was a troublemaker, turning the tables as he turned them over. Called him a heretic, didn't like his rhetoric. There was no way that he could be the savior. But when they sent and a rebel to a cross, he rose and the word saw rebel with a cause. Whoa, whoa, yeah, whoa. He said it came for those who had to have a doctor, and we can come to him when life is a mess. I love to read about the losers turning into winners. He has a way of making more out of a less. Everything he did went against the system, but he did it all so I could be forgiven. They called him a renegade. He was a troublemaker, turning the tables as he turned them over. Called him a heretic, didn't like his rhetoric. There was no way that he could be the savior. But when they sent and a rebel to a cross, he rose and the word saw rebel with a cause. Whoa, whoa, yeah, whoa. This renegade came to save. This troublemaker made a way. This heretic had words of life to say. This renegade came to save. This troublemaker made a way. This heretic had words of life to say. And this rebel, yeah, this rebel beat the grave. They called him a renegade. He was a troublemaker, turning the tables as he turned them over. Called him a heretic, didn't like his rhetoric. There was no way that he could be the savior.
with our featured artist of the week, Joseph Habedank. Well, it's hard to talk about the project Changes Coming and not talk about my favorite song on the entire album. This song could possibly be my favorite Joseph Habedank song of all times. That's saying an awful lot. The song is simply called Judas. Judas, as in the betrayer of the Son of God. Who cares about Judas? Who loves Judas? Well, you said that the Savior did. You said he knew his heart and he knew it all along, and he still washed his feet in humility and in love. Well, this is one of the most incredible songs that I have ever experienced. Tell me about it, Joseph. Tell me about Judas.
So I've always been fascinated with Judas. Several years ago, I wrote a song called Jesus or Judas, and it just didn't. I wrote it for me, and it just didn't come out like I wanted it to. And so I've always wanted to go back and try to write a song about him, because there's something fascinating about the idea that out of all the people that Jesus met, and he met thousands of people, he chose Judas to be one of his 12 followers. He chose him, handpicked Judas. And not only did he choose him, but I believe in my heart that he loved him. And I would even go as far to say as I think Jesus loved Judas just as much as he loved his other disciples, knowing that he was going to break his heart, knowing that he was going to sell him out. And just hours before he sold him for 30 pieces of silver, he washed his feet. The humbleness of an almighty God to kneel and wash his feet. And so I'll never forget, during the shutdown in 2020, Lindsay and I came off the road, and we don't get to do things like normal people do when we're home, because we're always working. And because we were off for 3 months, one day she said, let's go to the park. And so we got in the car and went to the park and started walking around this pond. And I started thinking, if he could love a traitor, a liar and a faker, if he could break the bread, share the wine, if the humble-hearted Savior could wash the feet of his betrayer, then surely he can love a heart like mine. And it just hit me. I started talking to Lindsay. I was like, see if you like this. And she said, do you think people will want to hear a song about Judas? And I said, honestly, I don't know. I said, but I just feel like the next time somebody feels like they're unlovable, or that God can't forgive them, or God can't love them because of what they've done, or something they've been in their past, I want to remind them that if he can love Judas, he can love them. Yeah. If he can love Judas, he can love me. If he can love Judas, really, he can love anybody. And he does. And I think that's the amazingness of God, is his incredible love. And I love this song. I'm so glad that you understand. Like, I'm so glad, because sometimes I like to write these kind of deep thoughts. And when people get what I'm trying to say, it just means so much to me.
Well, it's an incredible song. And for those who have never heard it and you haven't experienced the song Judas, well, I encourage you to just stop what you're doing. It'll be worth your time. Here's Joseph Habedank with Judas.
Was 30 pieces worth it? When the truth is, I might have sold him out for less. Can you see the way it hurt him? But it could have been me who hid behind that kiss of death. If I'm the judge of Judas, then woe is me. Turns out the only difference is that I believe if he could love a traitor, a liar and a faker, if he could break the bread and share the wine, if the humble-hearted Savior could wash the feet of his betrayer, then surely he could love a heart like mine. What amazing mercy, how extravagant this overwhelming reach of grace. Though we are undeserving, he'll still meet the worst of sinners in their darkest place. And all I know to say is thank you, Jesus. And all I know to sing is hallelujah. If he could love a traitor, a liar and a faker, if he could break the bread and share the wine, if the humble-hearted Savior could wash the feet of his betrayer, then surely he could love a heart like mine. Oh, oh, he can love a heart like mine. So no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, just take it from me, it'll never be bigger than his great love. If he could love a traitor, a liar and a faker, if he could break the bread and share the wine, if the humble-hearted Savior could wash the feet of his betrayer, then surely he could love a heart like mine. I know that surely he can love a heart like mine. I know he can. I know he can love a heart like mine.
Well, Joseph, I want to spend our last minute or two together talking about what's going on this weekend that we are excited about. I've been telling people about it. Joseph Habedank, you're coming to Mississippi, right?
I am. I'm coming to one of my favorite places, and that's your church, your dad's church, your family's church. We're going to be at Salem Baptist in Lake, Mississippi this Sunday night, and I believe it starts at 6 p.m. Is that correct?
That's right. Sunday
And,
night at
if
6.
you want to know the specific date, in case you don't know, Sunday night is March the 13th, 6 p.m., Salem Baptist, Lake, Mississippi. I have so many memories of this church. I started singing there, I think, when I was a teenager with the Perrys.
Yeah.
And now I'm 36 years old and still getting to go back. And I love your new sanctuary that you built a few years ago. It's beautiful. If you've never been to this church, it's such a great place for a concert. The spirit's great. The people are wonderful. It's a beautiful setting. And it's pretty amazing. So I'm so excited. I just want to say thank you, Natalie, to you and your family for having me back at your church. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And we want to invite every single person that is listening. Not only do we want to invite you, but we want to encourage you to invite your family, your friends, bring a car load, bring a van load, bring an SUV load, bus load, whatever you want to do. We're going to pack the place out, hopefully, and have a great night. So I'm excited about it.
I'm excited too. We can't wait. Joseph, we're going to see you Sunday night, and hopefully we're going to see all of our audience out there of the morning show Sunday night. Okay.
We'll see you all then.
All right. We enjoyed it, Joseph. See you soon.
Thank you, Natalie. You're awesome.
All right. Talk later. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Time I couldn't see the road ahead, or let my future be determined by something somebody said. If I had let my joy be silenced every time my heart was hurt, I would have fallen short of everything God's mercy says I'm worth. I am a child of the King. I'm forgiven and redeemed. There's a solid rock on which I stand, washed in the blood. I know I am a child of the King. Oh, and I believe it when Jesus looks at me. All he sees is a child of the King. Whoa. If you knew what I had been through, my regrets and my mistakes, then you would understand just why I grace. Yet he never looked at me through eyes that judged me or condemned. He just wrapped his arms around me and said, I belong to him. I am a child of the King. I'm forgiven and redeemed. There is a solid rock on which I stand, washed in the bloody. I know I am a child of the King. Oh, and I believe it when Jesus looks at me. All he sees is a child of the King. Whoa, washed in the blood, I know why. Washed in the blood, I know why. Washed in the blood, I know I am a child of the King. Washed in the blood, I know I am. Washed in the blood, I know I am. Washed in the blood, I know I am a child of the King. I am a child of the King. I'm forgiven and redeemed. There is a solid rock on which I stand, washed in the blood. Yeah, I know I am a child of the King. Oh, and I believe it when Jesus looks at me. All he sees when Jesus looks at me. All he sees is a child of the King. Whoa, I am a child of the King.